Telling a story in a futuristic world gives you this freedom to explore things that bother you in contemporary times. Dystopian literature possesses a didactic quality, revealing humanity's uncertain future by exemplifying our largest fears and exposing the flaws that exist within a totalitarian society. The Hunger Games, published in 2008 by Suzanne Collins, details the stoic protagonist, Katniss Everdeen, volunteering in her sister's place to compete in a brutal free-for-all. Collins adeptly depicts a dystopian society in The Hunger Games by perfectly encapsulating core values she believes should permeate within us. Katniss's journey exposes the contrast between morality in our society compared to the country of Panem and the oppressive government of the capital, whilst highlighting her pursuit of freedom through rebellion. The gap in the social hierarchy of Panem allows for those superior to control those considered inferior in an inhumane and unethical way. In a world where the strong oppress the weak, what happens to the moral fabric of society? Through Katniss's personal take on the capital's anti-rebel speech, she summarizes it as how they take your children and sacrifice them, and there's nothing you can do. The metaphorical message compares tributes to sacrificial lambs, emphasizing their helplessness and vulnerability, that the capital will do anything it takes to assert its authority. Dystopian societies often feature a rampant government without morals as reflected by the capital, threatening that they will destroy every last one of you, just as we did in District 13. Everyone is constantly reminded by the metaphor that their lives are at the capital's mercy, exhibiting no regard for ordinary human decency. Striving to create a just society where every individual is treated with dignity and respect is a crucial goal Collins illuminates, where power is not wielded to oppress those who are considered inferior, such as the character tropes in a dystopian world. The notion of ethics is further explored through the games themselves and the spectators in the capital living lavish lives. They are excited to a disturbing degree every year to watch and root for the tributes chosen, while in reality also betting on their lives. In the pre-game interview, Katniss is opposed to pretending the audience are her friends to ease her nervousness, since "they're not my friends." The use of an exclamation conveys her outburst at their heartlessness, as they see the tributes as sources of entertainment. The dehumanization of tributes is emphasized through the hyperbole of "they're betting on how long I'll live," which presents that the tributes are mere pawns, killing each other for their entertainment. Furthermore, all districts are forced to watch the games by law, forcing the people who raise chosen tributes to sacrifice and watch them be brutally slaughtered. The dystopian plot serves as an exaggerated reflection of our society's obsession with entertainment and the desensitization towards the suffering of others. Similarly, the showcase of a socially subjugated civilization in the book allows Katniss to question and confront the lack of freedom in Panem. Freedom in contemporary society is taken for granted, with the lack of it serving as a warning for what can happen to humankind. After watching Rue, one of District 11's tributes, pass helplessly in her grasp, hatred for the capital becomes prominent and floods Katniss's head. Integration of anaphora signals her first motive of rebellion and yearning for freedom, that she wants to shame them, to make them accountable, that Rue was more than a piece in their games. She continuously uses the infinitive verb to, demonstrating her determination in rebelling to avenge Rue and proving the capital cannot have full control over her. The dystopian genre portrays the lack of freedom in Panem civilization, prompting all of us to reflect on the societal value of freedom in our own world and how easily it can be taken for granted. In addition, The Hunger Games abundantly presents the theme of rebellion in the face of oppression and the struggle for freedom. Collins values resistance in such a world where freedom is obstructed by the abuse of power, expressed through Katniss's characterization and conflicts. During the games, the rule allowing two tributes from the same district to win was overwritten. Katniss, unable to accept it, defied the rule, handing Peeta lethal nightlock berries to consume together. Frantically stopped and ultimately declared winners, Haymitch later alerted Katniss to "listen up, you're in trouble. The capital's fierce about you showing them up in the arena." The severity of Katniss's situation is reviewed by a serious tone, indicating that there are repercussions for rebelling, since the one thing they can't stand is being laughed at, and they're the joke of Panem. She adheres to societal conventions in the way she is presented and her post-interview responses, accentuating the person versus society conflict as she attempts to conform to the norm in fear of death. Pressure to conform to societal standards, even if it goes against one's values as depicted within the dystopian setting, can be mirrored in our society today due to the strong conformist expectation alluring people to connect online. Dystopian fiction can be informative, allowing individuals to peek into undesirable societies without any hint of moral righteousness or the right to freedom. Through the captivating plot, Collins sheds light on the ethical implications of those in power with their threats, betting on human lives, and the desensitizing of violence. Furthermore, it provides a poignant reflection of the universal flaws present in our own society, warning us of the risks of rising power and the loss of freedom. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins teaches us an essential lesson of what our world can become if we allow morals and freedom to disintegrate from our society.